Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to the Glassman's world. This is Dan the Glassman speaking, and we're about to go live here on the torch. Give me a second. I'll flip the camera around here in just a moment. So, how you guys doing today? It's about almost 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. my time here, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Mountain Standard Time, and we're about to get started. Probably do an hour demo here, just making a couple things. Not really sure what I'm gonna make. I got a few I pull out of the kiln here, so that we'll pull that out here in just a second. Let's see what kind of glass we have on the table, and we'll get to work here in just a moment. So those of you who joined me last night for the update, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. My phone was plugged in, charger was plugged in. I don't know if just maybe the cable wasn't pushed in all the way, which let me make sure that we're charging now. So I'm going to plug this in and make sure that this is plugged in and charging. I felt it do the little vibrate thing. So it should be charging now. It should be good. All right, give me a sec here. Up in smoke, that's where my money goes. Just kidding. Little song, teaching song. All right, here, let's flip you all around. Let's get you into the mix here. Welcome to the Gardena Glass Studio, also known as One Drop Studio. So we were working on this eyeball last night. It came out pretty good. The only problem is, I was having all these issues with the phone going out and this and that. I was fumbling around, and I ended up dropping this as I was working on it. I ended up dropping it while I was working on it. So I don't know if you can see, but right there, a little dent, little divot. It fell onto the floor. It started melting a package of batteries. I was like, oh my god, that's kind of dangerous. It fell on the floor and perfectly landed on this battery here, that battery there. I think they're done. I need to toss this thing out, actually. I'm going to throw that away. I was like, but one of those batteries might still be good. Actually, that one on the bottom, I'm like, huh. I need to take this one out. I need scissors. Or maybe I could just rip it. There we go. Alright, this one wasn't affected. We'll save this one. There. Ripped it apart. Okay. Throw those ones away. So yeah, so this eyeball, I was actually going to keep it for myself, and now I'm really going to keep it for myself because it's got that divot in there. It fell, and that's sad. All that work, all that energy and effort, and then it's got a little dent going all the way around and all the way across. But that came out nice. What do you guys think about that? That's one of the best eyeballs I've ever made. I probably should have added a little bit more clear right there, right on the pupil, just on the front. But yeah, it's all clear on the front, lensed out. That came out pretty sweet. Maybe I'll make another. The only issue is I don't have enough white. I definitely don't. Yeah, because that's that other white. That is not dwarf white or star white. I need some more star white or some dwarf white. This is white here, but there's blue in it. It's got a baby blue. Maybe we should use this up, and then we'll have some white. So let's push some mushrooms real quick. We'll get rid of this real fast here. So let's get started. So those of you who tuned in last night, we had some issues with the internet going out. I don't know what's been going on the last few days. Internet's been going out. Someone posted up that they've noticed that their internet's been having issues. So it might just be, kind of a local thing or something that's not just happening here. And we'll probably have to pull out another rod here, huh? Oh, I still got that one. Okay. And then we got all these little shorts now. We got all these little scrap shorts taking up space. I can always put these together. Which, you know what? Let's do that. Let me show you a little quick technique on putting these together here. And then what I'll do is I'll just use these for pulling my my 7mm rod that I use for making the ribs in the glass balloons, or for making the loops on the pendants, on the necklaces and things like that. And let's see. I got my screen on, so we'll see if anyone tunes in and is watching here. Hopefully we don't lose the internet again today. So it is Wednesday, I believe, and there is some crazy storm right now hitting the Pacific Northwest up there by California, Eureka, Oregon coast, all up there. And then we'll be, I believe, moving northern and to the east, so going up into Washington and Canada, I believe, and then maybe getting pushed back down with a cold front and with the cold pressure system from the north, pushing it back down into the U.S. I tend to follow the weather, being that I work outside a lot. I have to follow the weather and know like what my work week might look like going into it. I want to know whether it's going to be cold, windy, snowing, things like that. So I'm always watching the weather, and it looks like they're calling it what are they calling it? A bomb cyclone? Which I don't even know if you can use that term or that phrasing. It's a weather terminology, YouTube, so please don't ding me on that. But yeah, they have some sort of B cyclone. They're saying it's the largest they've ever had or expected. They've never had anything as big as this, and to get ready to prepare for something that they've never prepared for ever before. Like, okay, what's going to happen here? Predicting like, up to a foot of rain in some places. 9 to 11 inches of rain pretty much. That's a lot of rainfall. That's going to create a lot of mudslides, a lot of rock slides, a lot of flooding in the valleys below. So the mountains and the valleys, it's going to be crazy. I can't even imagine if we had that much rainfall over here. We get some rain, and just when we get our big old thunderstorms here in Albuquerque, we do have a really good irrigation system. We have what you call ditches or washes, the arroyos. When I first moved here from California. I was a little skater kid, a little skater punk, right? And when we moved here, I remember my father was driving us around, and I just kept seeing all these like concrete playgrounds all over the place, all these ditches and arroyos. I was like, oh my god. And then we actually live pretty close to the infamous Indian school ditch. You know, the one that Tony Hawk has ridden and made famous. So the Indian school ditch was my ditch that I used to ride back in the day. I lived off of an Indian school in Moon, right there on Saint Street. I don't remember the address. It was like 1817 or something. 1917. 17. I don't know what it was. Whatever. Don't go looking for it because I don't live there anymore. I don't know who lives there. It doesn't even look the same as it used to when we used to live there. They've done a lot of things to the front yard. They got rid of the grass and they put a concrete driveway there. It's so interesting to go back and see the places that you've lived and to see what people have done to them. I always get fascinated at that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we have a lot of arroyos, a lot of ditches. So Albuquerque tends to have some pretty good flood control. Even on the west side, in Rio Rancho, like just north of the new medical facility out there, like all the way out there, Unser, um, you know, even further way out there, there's an area where it seems like if we ever get rain coming from that high desert on the west, and it comes down over the petroglyphs there, because that's all lava. You know, there's a little bit of dirt on top of it and stuff, but it's pretty much just lava stone. That whole thing out there on the west. I don't know if people understand that. And so if we do ever get a lot of rain on that side of town there, you know, it can flood pretty easily and a lot of mud and stuff. But I believe they have it set up to where now they have that big old royal, or like it's like we've never had that much rain, and the way they've built it is so huge. I just wonder if they're expecting a lot of floods. And you know, it's interesting that I noticed that, you know, they developed it, I don't know, 10 years ago, even more. And I've always wondered, like, why do we have this big old, like, a dam? It looks like it's like a water, like to slow down the water. It's got like all these concrete blocks everywhere. Like there's one here and then there's one in between right here. So they're kind of staggered, like checkerboard style, you know? And I always wondered, why is that out there? It's not like we ever get enough rain to ever utilize that. And now we're like living in this whole crazy, there's a lot of floods going on. I can't say things that might be inappropriate here. I can't make assumptions, apparently. But we all know that the weather is crazy these days, right? Okay. What's this one here? Oh, this is that one that has that cool invisible yellow. Alright, so what were we using? We did this. I was going to use that white and make a... Okay, let's make one real quick. So good morning, good morning. I'm just kind of blabbing here, talking about the storm that's about to come in, the superstorm, or the BOMB cyclone that's out there in the northern, the Pacific Northwest, hitting California and Oregon currently right now. And a lot of water, a lot of floods are going to be happening. So I'm just trying to put it out there, warning people as I'm just making some glass here. You know, here at the Glassman's World, it's pretty much anything goes, whatever's in my world here. So, you know, I woke up and saw a few videos on this cyclone coming in. Started watching the weather and things like that, which Like I said, that's a part of my paradigm. That's part of my world. I have to keep track of the weather for doing yard jobs and things like that. Let's see. Let's put a little. It's kind of purpley. Like, what color is that? It's like blue on white, but then it looks almost purple. Like, let's give it a purple cap. Let's see what that looks like. That'd be kind of cool. So these are stringers here. This one's white with some blue on it, and this one here is like a plum kind of color. It was like a light purple. Just gonna add that to the tip, and that'll help with the coloration of the mushroom cap when I push it in there. Let's get this to all become one. All right, so I don't know where you guys are at, but are you guys experiencing any crazy weather and things like that in your neck of the woods? I know in the down south here in New Mexico, Roswell had some crazy flooding, which, you know, Roswell, New Mexico is known for the UFOs, and I'm also known for the glass UFOs and alien glass, things like that. You can always go to on Facebook, facebook.com/the UFO type page. It's a page there. You don't have to type in page, but yeah, you could go there and check it out. I got a lot of Facebook pages. For those of you who are interested, want to find me there on Facebook, you can find pages, many pages. Gardunio Glass is one page, Gardunio Glass Studios, One Drop Studios, the UFO Pipe, Glass Jellyfish Jewelry, another one, Glass Balloons, Gardunio Glass Straws, which are drinking straws. For those of you who want to get away from using plastic, or there are, you know, if you're environmentally friendly and you want to do your part, you know, some people are getting metal straws or brass, or stainless steel is pretty clean, but it's still metal. And glass is more, it's medically sterile, basically. Glass is medically sterile. Metals, you know, they might have some sort of metal toxicity. I don't know. If you're always drinking from stainless steel, putting steel to your lips all the time, I don't know how good that is for the health. But for the environment, it's better than making a bunch of plastic straws. And then they make paper straws, but those paper straws are weird. And after time, they get all soggy and gross. Bamboo straws, those are also interesting. Wood straws. What are those things when they make like the matcha tea, or the, I forget what that tea is from down south. Is it matcha? I think it's something else, actually, that I'm thinking of. Yerba mate. Yerba mate is what I was thinking of. And then they have those bombillos, and the bombillo straws where they got the straws with the holes on the bottom. So then you don't suck up all the tea leaves. They just put all the leaves directly in the hot water. And then you get those straws with the holes on them. I can make those. I can make glass straws with the holes, the bombillo straws. Bombillo. Alright, so we're just going to make a couple mushrooms real quick so I can utilize this white. I don't remember why I had this color here. It was probably for a balloon design. And I do believe someone's here with me, just listening in. Thank you for tuning in. I know if you're not chatting, you're probably busy doing your own work or doing whatever you're doing. But I appreciate you being here, tuning in. So last night we had issues with the phone going out on us. Battery, I guess the cable wasn't plugged in properly. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just like hanging loose, just didn't have the proper connection. And without realizing it, I'm thinking it's plugged in and we're ready to go. Um, it just went out on us. So I apologize for that. We were going to go over some of the prizes for some of our winners for October. I was celebrating reaching 1K, 1,000 subscribers here at the Glassman's World. Thank you so much for all my subscribers for tuning in and watching the Glassman's World here. I do appreciate you. I've been up for years and I've never really like pushed and said like, hey, be sure to subscribe and be sure to like and all that stuff. Like everyone else does, constant reminders like, if you want to like it and subscribe, you're going to. I don't need to constantly remind you what everyone else is always reminding you. We all know how to play the YouTube game here, right? Oh. So yeah, if you like what you see, you want to get back over here and get those notifications, of course, you know what to do. I'm not asking anyone to subscribe, but I do glass giveaways, or at least I did for the 1K subscribers celebration, and I decided to do 30-day Gardenia glass giveaway. So every day in October, every evening we did a spin the wheel, a random name generator, and we would just choose a winner, and then they'd get to choose the prize if they were here live. And we're still trying to figure out some of the winners' prizes, so we're still waiting for their responses and replies, but we've got at least 4 or 5 winners and their prizes all ready to go and be shipped, which will be going out here soon in the next day or two, actually. In my world, I've had some delays financially, watching the weather and everything. It got impacted with the storms that hit us here recently. A lot of people on the East Coast are going to just finally get their first snowstorm or their winter storms coming in for the first time. But here in the Rocky Mountain region, Colorado and New Mexico, we got hit pretty good with the storm, especially up north in Las Vegas, New Mexico. I believe they got 3 feet of snow. Pretty awesome. Las Vegas also got hit with a drought several years ago, about 2-3 years ago. Hopefully they learned from their lesson there and that they captured a lot of that snow for their public water usage. Hopefully they captured it, contained it, but probably not. Because that's a lot of snow. If I was living anywhere up there up north, then I would probably be living somewhat off grid or have a rain catchment system with a big old cistern buried in the ground with the pump, and then also several that are above ground that are gravity fed for the backup water supply. But you'd want to have underground systems so that way you could always have constant water without it freezing. And then you just got to make sure you have good pumps. That's all. Yeah, if I was living up north, I'd have like a greenhouse where you could grow year round, not have to worry about the weather. Even in this little tiny 2-bedroom apartment here, I've thought about how I could make a greenhouse somehow out of our little back area. But I don't think we get enough sun on this side because that would be on the north side. And the south side's always the best, but that's where our front door is, and we're not really allowed to do too much out there. I am allowed to have some plants out there, which is cool. You know, I should have probably planted some spinach, some chard, some kale, bok choy, some like cold resistant plants. I've been so busy with life and doing things, and I've kind of scheduled myself out extremely busy. I do a lot of yard work, basically Monday through Friday. I schedule myself out. I used to have Mondays free so I could take new clients on if I get any messages that others might need my assistance. And then that's been moved from Monday to Thursday. So now Thursdays are my free day. But with the weather recently, my Monday client has now been asking to go back to Thursday. Oh yeah, which actually I need to let my client know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it tomorrow. All right, so we're going to get one or two more made out of this, and then I'll be able to have the white, and then we can see about making another eyeball. This eyeball was fun. Oh, and the other thing, we got to get that glass out of the kiln. So let's do that right now. We'll finish this one up. That's a beauty. I wish I could get them to just glow like that. Imagine if there was a way, like they do have glow in the dark glass, but or they used to. I don't think it's available anymore. Okay, good. None of these broke. I threw that third one in and it hit the other two. I'm like, oh my god. Could have easily broke the gondolas. So these are some more, what are these? Blue and white and blue and purple. Blue and white in the middle. And then the other blue and purples right there. Some more little hot air balloons. So I'm going to always and constantly be making glass balloons for the rest of my life, or at least for the rest of my career of blowing glass. For as long as I can do this, physically do this, you know. I don't see myself doing anything else in my life except blowing glass. All right, let's get this kiln on. Also, what time is it? 8:20? I'll be right back. Give me one sec. Alright, I'm back. I had to go and unlock the front door for my wife's caregiver. He comes in every day around 8:30, and that allows me to continue working and doing other things, and I don't have to worry about my wife like being here alone, possibly falling or something like that. So she may come in a moment. You might hear another voice in a second. We got that kiln on? Yeah, kiln's on. I should have turned that on a long time ago. But it should be able to get up to temperature within 30 minutes or so. We'll see. Make another mushroom here. Alright, so that first one we put a little extra purple on the top. That second one we didn't do anything. And now this one I'm thinking let's add maybe some blue, some cobalt. We'll add a little dark blue onto that light blue and the white, and we'll see what that does. It's always fun to experiment with colors and see what they do. You never know. It might be a new pattern, a new color, new something that you've never seen. You're like, oh, if you mix those two together, it comes out looking like this or like that. So it's important to do that. All right, so we'll get this up to heat again. Get this molten. So pushing mushrooms, simply what you do is you get the tip of the clear glass rod hot to the point where it's glowing white and molten. And I'm just keeping just the tip in there. I'm not pushing anything else in but the tip. Only that part there that you see glowing. So like half an inch. Basically as wide, the width of the flame there. And then you get that solid color glass, the stringer. I like to get the tip just a little bit hot and molten so it helps it spread out. And we're going to push it into this molten clear, and this solid glass will then go through into the center there, have nowhere else to go, and kind of push back on itself as you're pushing into it, and then it just forces it to cap out like that. Just like that. Alright, I might be able to make one more to get rid of all that. Good morning. Left the door open for you. I'll be out there in a sec. Alright, so I got one more. A little bit of baby blue on that tip right there. That'll be the last push right there. And then I'll have the white all ready for me so I can try to make another one of these, where'd it go? One of these eyeballs here. So I worked on one last night. It came out looking pretty good. That was with the dark multi. That dark multi came out looking like a beautiful baby blue eye. But then it's got this cool color, like the ring of color on the outside of the eye, of the iris. That's so nice. So I'm going to try that again. wonder how small I can make them too. And then another thing is I wonder how big I could make it. Like, you know, I could turn it into like a marble or have like a big old lens on the front and make it to where you're looking through the jewelry or the pendant or the marble or whatever it is, looking through clear glass into an eyeball, looking directly at you, and it'll be all magnified. That'd be pretty cool too. All right, so these are some of the $10 ones. Now these are two color mushroom. They have one color on their stem, one color on their cap. These actually are three color, but I'll just call it two color. These will be part of the $10 mushrooms, and then the one color single colors are just $5. So anytime you ever want to place an order, Christmas is coming up, you know, the holidays are coming up, birthdays are always around all the time, you know. Even if you don't have your own children, you got brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, nieces, you got friends who got kids, things like that. And a $5 mushroom necklace is a very nice, affordable gift that you can give to pretty much anyone of any age. And if they're not into mushrooms, well, you can get them a little spiral or something else, some kind of abstract piece of glass. I try to keep my glass pretty affordable, between $5 and $50, depending on what I'm making. But usually that's about right, between $5 and $50. Sometimes I go a little bit higher on that, but $50 is probably the most expensive of my glass. I like to try to keep it affordable for everyone. Custom orders, that's a whole different thing. You know, then we could get into making $1,000 orders, few $100 orders, you know, things like that. Custom orders is a whole different thing. But as far as like what I mass produce and I make to sell, what I set up when I'm vending or what I'm selling online, and what I'll be having available in the GardenoGlass.com or .store website soon. Though, you know, I'll have the simple mushrooms, the one color, the two color, the jellyfish. Now the jellyfish will probably be one off that I'll have to post up, and then you can choose which one specifically that you'd like. That way, you know, what you see is what you get. And that's going to just take me some time on posting it up and everything. And the other thing too is I can also just do that here daily and be like, look, these are available for sale. You let me know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or number 6, and you know, on some of this glass right here, and then I can then ship it out to you. I'd like to get to the point where $50 purchases or more will get you free shipping. Eventually, I'd like to just be able to offer free shipping on all items. Well, I guess I couldn't afford to do that on like a $5 item, and then I ship it. It'd be like, wait, I didn't make any money there. I just sent you, I just paid for shipping, and it didn't get covered with the $5. That would be silly. So yeah, hopefully I can get to the point where orders of $50 or more will be back to free shipping again. That'll be nice. All right, this has got a little bit of blue. Let's go with the baby blue this time. We'll see what this looks like on top of that kind of light blue on the white. So all of these are pretty much the same base, but then with different little dots of color that I add to them right there, which then will change how each individual one looks. All right, I'll make this one real quick, and then I'll go make sure that my wife is all up and awake and everything. Oh yeah, it's still not even 8:30. It's 8:25. So she actually got here early today. That's pretty cool. I knew it. That's why I got up and got the door ready. Well, I didn't know it, but I was prepared for it. All right, so now we cut that off, and now we got white. Yeah. So now we're back to this. I think this is dwarf white, maybe North Star. All right, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna go visit with the caregiver real quick, make sure she's all right, and then I'll come back and we'll work on another eyeball real quick. And then I probably need to get going, get my day started, figure things out. Get I have a storage unit I got to deal with today. And once I'm done with that, then I can figure out whether or not, well, then I can ship, not whether or not I can ship. Then I can start shipping and get everyone's prizes out and a few of these orders out too. Oh, and this morning I noticed my shoulders were super tight and tense. I don't know if that's from working yesterday. Did a lot more above the head trimming with the hedger, the weed whacker, or not the weed whacker, the hedger, and yeah, I think I kind of hurt my shoulder some. My fingers are a little numb this morning, and I woke up really tight. Or even last night before going to bed, I was super tight. All right, we're gonna finish this one up now. And yeah, I was thinking, I didn't really like the idea of using that translucent blue because then it looks so transparent you can't really see it. But we'll see how it looks when it's cooled down. We'll go through all four of them to see the difference of them right now. And yeah, we'll check that out here. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I'm back. Sorry about that wait. Got you guys waiting with no music or no nothing. You just, well, I left you with the fire though. Hope you guys stayed nice and warm and toasty while I stepped aside. Went to go get some water because the water is life. Every drop counts. Drinking out of the copper. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm always drinking out of the copper. I wish that black was a little bit more darker. Is that not the onyx? Do I not have onyx? Let me see if I can find onyx on my table. Could be like a little piece up here. That's all cobalt. Oh yeah, those look like they're all pieces of cobalt there. I'll keep those all together. More cobalt over there. Cobalt, cobalt. Maybe I'm out. That's cobalt. What's this one here? Is that black? Interesting. Get the Norwex Opti-Cloth. Get it all nice and clean. It's been sitting over there on the side for a while. I don't know if this is onyx or what. It looks dark though. It looks like it's a black. But I don't know if I want to use it until I know. Alright, well, I guess we'll just make one and we'll see how it comes out. So we're just going to play. We're going to make one more real quick, and then I'm going to let y'all go. I was thinking this was only going to be a 1 hour demo. But it looks like it's turning into something a little bit more. I'm going to get this white put on a handle here. So we're going to use this scrap tubing, this blow tube that came off of one of the ornaments that I made the other day. When I was working with tubing and actually blowing glass. I should have put, instead of live blowing glass, I should have just put lamp working or torch work. Making glass on the torch, melting glass. I should just call this melting glass, because this isn't really blowing glass. So maybe I'll change that title here. Alright, cool. So now that's nice and straight. What time is it? It's almost 9 o'clock. So 9:30 is the time that I can start going over to my storage and getting things out. So I'll be going over to borrow the truck here soon. Thank you to my friend for lending me your truck. I appreciate it so much, and I'll be there tomorrow to help you out with what you need. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's make something here. Alright, so I was just looking at that eyeball, and it gave me an idea. I was like, ooh, let's try that. That's going to look really, really cool. So we are going to grab, I don't know what color. What color? That'd be kind of interesting, actually. Okay, so we're going to utilize the dark multi. If I can find it. Like, where did I put it? Oh my gosh, where is it? Oh, really? Where'd the dark multi go? I gotta actually take my glasses off. Where is it? What? Okay, we're at the point where I got too much glass on my table. Like, where is the dark multi? It's just gone? Oh, hey, let's move that. That's gonna melt. Did it fall on the floor? Is it over here? This. What? Oh my gosh, this is tripping me out. I didn't put it. No, that's not it. Like, why would I do that? That's dumb. Did I drop it on the floor last night? Oh, this don't make no sense. Oh my gosh, is this it? That's it right there. Holy. I thought that was the black. Okay. 59 minutes in, let's get started. See how long this takes. So, getting back to what I was saying, this cool idea, being that you can see the backside of this. I don't know if I showed you guys that. So the eyeball here, there's the backside. It's like a vortex where you can look into the marble. So I'm going to actually put some designs and patterns to make it reversible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe the dark multi is right here. Just move that whole pile. Try to be careful not to fume it. There's a lot of metals and things within the dark multicolors like this. And if you're heating it up and then you flash the glass behind it, it'll actually capture that fuming. Alright, so now what I've done is I pulled the stringer on here. And then we're going to rake it and give it a really cool pattern. So now what I'm doing is I'm raking this pattern down, taking this clear glass and pulling it down, leaving a little bit of clear on top of it while pulling the pattern. So I'm getting it all nice and hot and molten, getting the pattern hot and molten in order to do so. And I'm using just a little point of this here, thick 16 millimeter rod. You usually would use a lot smaller of a piece of glass in order to do this, but whatever. If I can do it with a 16 millimeter rod, then so be it. Alright, let's make sure there's no color on here. Cool, all clear? All clear. So now we got this cool wavy pattern here. This is known as the wrap and rake. This is one of the first simplest surface work patterns that we've learned how to do, known as the wrap and rake. Kind of looks like a spider web effect. See if I can show you that. So there you go, that's the wrap and rake right there. So you get all those colors wrapped around and then pulled. So now that's going to be on the back side there, so when we look into the marble, it's going to be a cool little vortex of that. I'm just going to melt this all down here. You know, I was just thinking I probably should have made that whole wrap and rake a lot smaller. Because now I'm going to have to figure out how to clear all this. That's going to be interesting. Okay, it don't matter. Here, what we're going to do, we're just going to shorten it up some. Most of that pattern's up here on the top anyways, so I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm just going to take this down to a point here. Hey, good morning, Miss Chad. What is up? So thank you so much. I know that you're from the Facebook group, YouTube Facebook group, and I went and checked out your channel as well. And I also subscribed. I believe I was your 41. I think you already had 40. From Canada, huh? Awesome. I got a friend up there in BC who actually he gifts out the drop of water which I make here. We gift out to water protectors from all over the world. And I'm actually down south in the U.S. in a state called New Mexico. Not the old one, but the new one. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna spin this. We're just gonna play around with this pattern and everything. All right, let's go this way. Oh, I'm gonna take this pattern. I'm gonna spin the whole thing. Oh, that's gonna look cool. Beyond the eye. Huh. These are gonna be known as the eye. We're gonna have some kind of crazy pattern work behind the eyeball here. Hopefully it's gonna all show up. Just gonna make sure we get all this thick part of the pattern in there. There we go. Uh-oh. Getting the tool too hot. You see how glowing hot that was? Getting it way too hot there. Alright, so we just scrapped all. So crazy we had to scrap so much. So how's the weather? Are you getting prepared for that cyclone that's coming in from the Pacific Northwest? I saw that on the different weather channels I follow here on YouTube. I do follow a lot of different channels and I subscribe to many channels. I like to check out and see what people are doing and what's going on. So I'm making an eyeball. This is going to look something very similar to this. And then on the back side, it's clear glass. The whole thing is clear with just a little bit of white on it. And then there's this vortex marble. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a pattern that's you're gonna be able to see this pattern now within that vortex. That's the whole thing of what I'm doing right now is I got some pattern in there. We're gonna now add the white over it. And then we're gonna try to get the iris and pupil to look really, really realistic. I haven't made these in a long time. I saw a tutorial, a video yesterday. Someone was making some glass eyes, and I was like, you know what? It's been a while. Let me try that out again. And I didn't have the same color. He uses frit. I'm just doing it all by hand. Frit is basically chunks of glass, like broken shards, broken pieces of glass, almost powdered, like a real fine piece of glass. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is all this glass right here, I don't know if you see it, it's not like in a real straight pattern here, so I'm gonna like force it back in line. Like, get back in line there, sir. You too, sir. Get back in line. And ma'am, you get back in line. And you over here, get back in line there. Step back. You, sir, get back in line. So it's cool. You can totally manipulate and shape the glass. You can move it, do these cool things like that. So now we pretty much have a nice line that we can follow here. So now we're going to coat all of this with the white. Cyclone heading to Canada. So it says that it's moving. It's near Eureka, California, and Oregon, and then it's supposed to move inland, and then but once it hits the mainland, then it's gonna putter out eventually somewhat. But yes, there is a cyclone that's hitting the Pacific Northwest right now as we speak. I follow the weather for many different reasons, but mainly because I do yard work outside a lot of the time. Today I kind of have to take the day off because I'm dealing with a storage unit that I have to empty out. I'm basically vacating my unit and probably donating all the items unless we get another smaller unit here, which I gotta figure out. That's another thing I gotta figure out right now. I'll go talk to my wife about. So as soon as I'm done with this eyeball, I'm gonna let y'all go. Right now we're just covering it with the white. All right, let's see how I do with that vortex. It's been a while. Okay, I'll coat it. So now that whole pattern is all coated there. Let's make sure that this white lines up nice. Nice and straight. So now that whole pattern is just covered in white. And wow, it looks white hot. That's how bright that is. Thank you. You enjoyed my singing very much on my last live. I appreciate that. That was the one that I was trying out the new song. That was very vulnerable. I don't know why I did that. Derek and Eureka, so hopefully your friend is okay. They're expecting, like what I heard, like from 9 to 11 inches, like a foot of rain, like to come down, and it's supposed to be like just dropping for like the next day or two, maybe the next week. I don't even know. Like it's just barely hitting landfall, and then being it's a cyclone, there's gonna be the eye of the storm, and then it'll hit again on that wraparound as well. So yeah, storms are crazy these days. I don't know what else I can really say about them without getting myself in trouble here. I gotta watch my P's and Q's, but they are crazy these days. Alright, so now we got that on there. Get this all nice and rounded. Well, it depends. Some storms can be really fun. But yeah, severe extreme weather that causes torrential rainfall, flooding, mudslides, rock slides, all kinds of problems and issues. Yeah, that is never fun at all. No one wants to be dealing with any of that. No one got time for any of that. But yet you're forced to deal with it. It's just something that, if you're in it, you just gotta, like, I don't know, you just gotta bear with it and just pray. That's all I can think. Just pray, 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 pray. Pray you're okay, your family's okay, everyone, your community. That's all I can think. Alright, this one's going to be a lot bigger, I believe, but maybe not. We'll see. Alright, so now we're going to add the coloring, which is this same color that we added in the back. So what I want to see is what it looks like as a front eyeball, the iris, and then as well what it looks like as the wrap and rake pattern on the inside, using the same color. Let's try to get that on directly in the center there. Alright, so that is the color for the pupil, or sorry, for the iris. And now what I have to do is I got to add a bunch of clear glass on there to really, really make it look like an eye. Maybe I'll do Monday, Music Monday. I should start getting into that every Monday. It seems like everyone likes it. Alright, let's add a bunch of dots in here. This should change up the coloration. So the color that I'm using is a dark multi. Dark multi meaning that it's kind of have like some dark colors to it, but it's a multi effect. So when you add clear glass on it, it changes the hue of what it looks like. The parts that are not covered and the parts that are covered. And the guy that I watched, he actually did a solid color, and then he did a multicolor, a changing color for the frit. I'm using a changing color and then clear glass on top of that, so it's a little bit different. It's the same but different. And I think this time, instead of going with the second layer, I'm going to just stay with one layer here. I don't know, I'm like, I'm seeing a lot of spaces I can put clear glass still. I'm going to go over it again. I never know. You got to go for now. Right on. Watch the replay. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, Miss Chad. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I get some notifications on your videos and we'll be able to watch yours as well. And like I said, in that, I don't know, in the Facebook YouTube group, you know, I've been trying to push people's buttons there on purpose. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I do. Like to question everything, right? And so I always post up my videos, right? And then the only people that I ever get any sort of feedback from are these guys that are like, hey, you need better SEO. Hey, you need more subscribers. Hey, you need to learn how to have better content. You need to learn how to make better thumbnails. Message me, message me, DM me. It's like, what's going on? Like, is it really no one in these groups that actually like are YouTube content creators? Or they're just people who are just fishing for people trying to make a buck, you know? So I posted up something like, why is it that anytime I post up my links and this and that, none of y'all ever go and watch my videos or check out my channel? It's like, at least like let me know that my channel sucks or, or that my content is BS. And as soon as I opened that door, then everyone started coming in, right? All the people were like, oh, well, your channel sucks, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Which, you know, I know how to play this game, so that's exactly what I was expecting from everyone. And that was the whole reason on doing that, was to basically get the interaction and get people to comment and stuff. And so I got a lot of people recently who've been commenting and trying to be trolls, but they don't realize that all they've been doing is helping my algorithm there. So now, when I post up, a lot more people are going to be able to see my posts. That's the trick. And that's where Miss Chat came over. Oh yeah, those are scammers most likely. I thought you already left. I thought you were already gone. But no, and I'm not saying hurry and get out. I'm just, uh-oh. Who's calling now? Okay, I'm going to have to call that number back. I don't recognize it. It's probably for the storage that I don't even know if I finished that. Like, I didn't finish reserving that. Okay, here goes the eye. Ooh, put that in the color one there. So now I'm pulling it all, because, you know, the lines of your eyes, they're not just little dots. They're kind of pulled lines, striations. I don't know what that's called. Striation. We're going to pull it all forward to stretch it like that. Get those lines in there. All the way to a nice point. Bam, just like that. And then we'll add the black. Which I did grab a whole different black earlier, and now I'm like, huh. Add a little dot right here on the tip for the pupil. And you can have it small or you can have it dilated depending on the size there. There are some nice content creators on that group. Some don't care to support each other. Have a good day. I'll catch you on the next live. Yes, and that's the thing is that I was pointing out a lot of individuals are on there telling me on that post, like the admins or those who have been on that channel for the longest, right? The top contributors and stuff. And they're saying, "Well, this post, I don't like your attitude on this post. Why would anyone want to go to your channel and this and that?" And it's like, well, that's the thing is I've never made any posts with attitudes before. So why wouldn't they go check out my channels before when I'm just like, hey, check this out, making something cool, making something new, something different, this and that, right? Why wouldn't they come check out my channel on any other time, any other given day? But then when I, push the buttons, then everyone comes out of the woodworks and has something to say. It's like you're trying to tell me that people don't have time to go watch a video, go check out a link because they're too busy, but yet you have time to to have an argument with me on this, pretty much. Like, you want to debate this or what? Because I am a master debater. I learned how to debate years ago. I didn't even take debate class in high school, but I had friends who did, and we'd go back and forth on some things. I've always been a master debater. Alright, we're going to add some clear glass now on top of this here. This is where the magic really happens. I'm going to look at it real quick. I'm going to see. Like, I'm going to add a little bit of clear onto the pupil. But that looks awesome. I might leave it as such. There's a little bit of clear glass on our pupil, or clear glass. There's a little bit of a clear lens right over our eye, our pupil. I don't know if you guys ever have looked at an eyeball that close or not, but yeah. Put it on. Let me take it off. The other thing too was some people were commenting about. They actually went to my channel. They checked it out, and they were telling me like, "Wow, like I don't know what you're complaining about." And that's the thing is they think that my post was just a big old complaint. They didn't realize I'm doing a reversal troll to get the trolls to come out, or anyone basically to come out and try to tell me their opinion on this and that, right? That I shouldn't be taking anything personal, or that I should just ask a question or something, or give some sort of feedback instead of just complaining, right? And they don't realize like I'm always doing that. And the thing is, people don't ever interact. And it's interesting until you actually make some sort of a dilemma or something to where they can then try to mouth off to you, or everyone wants a debate. I think nowadays everyone wants to debate. Everyone is in this whole new Facebook realm and paradigm where it's just that's where we're at. That's what we're living these days, guys. When people do jokes, I'm just joking, just joking with each other. They're usually just putting each other down, just really saying some really bad, horrible things. And like, oh, what, you can't take it? You ain't got tough skin? I'm just joking with you. Like, that's the paradigm that we're living in these days, guys. It's quite interesting. So if you understand the psychology of the world and you can use reverse psychology, just like that. Now I'm debating, I'm going to have to let this cool down for a second. but I don't want it to cool down entirely. I need to heat up this backside actually. I want to get this part rounded now. I don't want to lose all that heat. Let's get this part all rounded. I'll push it all in. We'll see if I can see the front here. And I might still add clear glass to that front. Oh yeah, so to continue on. So some people who were commenting were saying, man, like you're doing better than me. I've been at it for this and that, spending this much time doing this and doing that. You know, they're telling me how they spend all these hours like editing and stuff, and then they see my channel and they're like, and you got all these viewers and hours and this and that, and you just go live. And it's like, yeah, because I understand how long it takes to do all of that, and I've decided I don't want to spend all that time doing all that. It takes a long time to edit, to render videos and things. You know, I'm kind of computer savvy, but not too much. But I kind of know about things. And I understand rendering takes time. You need a lot of space on your computer and stuff. You know, the laptop that I use, it's like barely worth $100. I don't have any gaming console. I don't have any amazing editing software. I don't use any of that onboarding systems, the OBS systems or anything like that. Being able to use skins, like basically what you see is what you get here. It's all analog. Besides the fact that the camera is digital, everything else is pretty much analog here. You know, when I show you guys videos and stuff, I'll just share my screen that's over here, you know, and just share the screen just direct. Ooh, let's check this out. Let's see how this looks. Holy. This is even better than the last one, guys. I'm not joking. That's freaking phenomenal. Oh my gosh, the lighting is not doing it justice. Okay, we're leaving it at that. I am not going to add clear on top of it. I love the way that looks. Oh my gosh. I think I've broke through the barrier. It was like when I was making jellyfish for like close to 10 years, 8 years working on jellyfish. Like, man, I can't get them to look right. They just look too weird and too muddy. They look too this and too that. And then finally, I figured out less is more. Just like this right here. Don't add that clear dome on it. Just do what you just did. Holy, this eye is going to look phenomenal, I think. Beautiful. All right, so we're now an hour and a half in. That means I've been working on this for 30 minutes. We need to finish this up, though. Let's get this all rounded here. I think by adding that clear glass on top of the color, it's giving me that effect of like that gloss coating, but then allowing those colors to really pop through to the surface. And that's what's going to make it really look realistic, beautiful. I'm stoked. And if I can get these made in about 30 minutes, then I don't know how long are my jellyfish, 15 to 20. I'll be able to sell these for like about $40 to $50, depending on how realistic they are and everything. Alright, so now I'm just rounding out this front here. Yeah, that looks awesome. I don't want to coat it or cover it because then it's going to get rid of the extreme contrast of that clear glass on that color. If I just coat it with clear, then all of that kind of goes away. So I'm leaving it as that. This is going to be pretty cool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it in the center here. I'm going to try to flatten it, disc it out a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger and wider. But also to where it's not a big old marble that you're wearing, but kind of more flattened and disc shaped. I don't know what that's going to do with the vortex though, because I kind of want to keep that rounded, but I also want to make sure this is nice and comfortable to wear. So we're going to keep it rounded, but keep it disc. Nice, that came out a lot bigger than my other one. That's almost like a real size eye right there. That is almost a realistic eye right there. You know, if I can figure out how to get the whole backing on these for for a real prosthetic eye, to where it can get into the ocular muscles and everything that helps those to move, because there's a special way on which they're made and shaped on the whole backside when they make them. You can't just put like a round marble in there. It'll just spin around. It's got to have something to hold on to and grab onto. They're not even perfectly round. They're kind of oval shaped as well, I believe. All right. Now, time to take it off and finish this up. We're going to punchy this up, buttercup. Alright, and I see a little bit of color on the punchy, so we're going to clear that off, of course. Always, especially if that's going to go right on to the iris pupil. We want that to be all clear glass so we don't have any kind of anything nasty on the front there. Let's clean it up. Make sure that this is attached properly. Yesterday I dropped the one I made. Okay, we put that right over the pupil. Alright, now we're going to flame cut this off here. And then we'll set up the loop. That was really cool. Miss Chad came in. I believe we just interacted yesterday on the Facebook, on the YouTube Facebook group. I believe it was like, I don't know, creators helping creators or something like that. I don't know which group it is. I'm involved in so many different groups. I have at least 30 to 50 groups myself that I manage and run. And then I've got at least like, I think 25 to 30 Facebook pages as well that I have and I manage and I run. And I don't know how I do that, but somehow I do. I really need to get monetized for all the time and energy I put into all this stuff. I've got some of the best playlists here on YouTube. Check out my playlist if you don't mind. I got a ton of stuff just saved, archived all over. All right. So I built up the rod. That's what I was doing right there. That way I can just attach it directly on here. I'm just going to round this up. Actually, there's a little bit of something. I'm just going to get rid of that. Now it's all nice and clean. And we're going to round this all up. So now I'm just pulling the excess here. We're just going to clean it up. That way we can round this here. And hopefully we'll be able to see the vortex in a moment to know, did that work by flattening it out, or did I get rid of the vortex and make it not as deep as it could look? Because the vortex is supposed to make it look like you're looking at least like 2 or 3 the depth of what this is. It should look a lot deeper. And I think this one here, it just looks like it is where it's at, the same depth that it is, but it looks really cool. I ain't gonna lie. And I see some more like schmeckle or like some kind of like dust or dirt making little dots on the surface there. So I'm just cleaning it up. That way, yeah, that way it's just all clear glass. Nice and clean so you can see through all that. Alright, we're almost done with this eyeball, guys. This one came out so much nicer than last night. And let's just not drop it on the floor again and ruin it like I did last night. I'm keeping last night, so it still has the loop on it. So it's still a necklace. It's right here. So it's still beautiful. But you can see the difference in size. This one's a beauty compared to that one. Alright, and we're just going to round this up some. I'm like, I can keep it rounded like that, and that really magnifies it. Now I'm feeling I need to, hold on, I feel like I need to round out the eyeball size a little bit better here. Good morning, what's up, 7 Stack? I don't know if it's charged up. So stupid. Yeah, it's charged up fully. I don't know what happened last night. The plug went completely, I don't know, it wasn't plugged in all the way. It was plugged in, but it wasn't plugged in. I have no excuse. I don't know if my cable is just acting weird or if it was like kind of like dangling off and just didn't get that proper connection. You know, sometimes the charging cable gets a little loose, or actually the plug, the port, the socket. So yeah, sorry about that last night. I was trying to go over all of the winners and everything, and I'm not sure. Did you ever win? Are you one of our winners? I know you were there like all the time. I was like, man, I feel like I should just send you something for just being there, but I want to make sure I just get out all the winners stuff, and maybe we'll do some consolation prizes. I gotta think about that. That gets expensive. You know, if anything, I can always just offer like, hey, purchase glass 50% off always. How about that? Okay, this eyeball is gonna look amazing compared to the one I just did last night. This one's gonna be ridiculous. I am not lying. I'm not like just trying to get y'all to stay here or whatever. I'm serious. Whole this is a whole nother level eyeball for me. All right. I think I'm happy with that. And the hardest thing is getting all of this nice and centered too. After it's all trying to move around on you. Excuse me. I've been all congested lately. I'm sorry about that. So I'm sorry that you didn't win this time. We'll definitely get, like I said, Christmas, 12 days of Christmas. I was thinking maybe for Thanksgiving. All right, we're going to do the old switcheroo right here. Woo, that's so always so scary. Like, please don't break off. All right, now we're going to be able to really see how this looks. This is freaking phenomenal. I am impressed. I have impressed myself. This is going to take longer than that 30 minutes though. We're already almost 2 hours in. We got 7 minutes for 2 hour mark. So this one here alone took 1 hour. This is definitely going to be a more expensive piece. Probably a $40 to $50 piece here. And also it's a reversible, so you can wear it both ways. You can wear it with the eyeball or with the vortex pattern on the back. Okay, I think that's completed there as far as its shaping and everything. So you got the vortex in there, which is super, super hot. And you got that beautiful eyeball, which I don't know if we can get it to zoom. It's trying to zoom in on everything in the background. Can't get the color either. Well, it looks amazing. It looks pretty real, guys. I think I'm onto something here. Thank you, thank you. And thank you. Yeah, I can't win them all, but I appreciate you watching. I appreciate that you enjoy this. It's fun to watch. I've actually loved glass blowing. I actually never saw glass blowing done until I got into it. It's kind of crazy how that works. I saw glass a year before I got into it. I saw someone with a whole entire case of glass at a party, and it was all paraphernalia and stuff like that. And I was just like, whoa, what is that? Big old rifle case. Yeah, Boogie. Yeah, I'm almost done here. I'm about to take a break, okay? I'll be out in just a sec. Alright. So I just got requested to become a chef. Gotta go chef it up for my boy here. Make sure he gets his eggs, get his protein in for the day. This kid eats, man. He's gonna be so bulked up, man. By the time he's a teenager, he's gonna be eating more than me, man. Like, oh my god. I used to eat a whole pizza when I was a teenager. 2 foot. I find, like, how much can you eat? You put down. I can only do 4. All right, that's crazy. Just kidding. No, I normally do a lot of tacos. We had tacos last night. Speaking of, I try to have tacos every day of my life if I can. It's taco every day. Not Taco Tuesday. Taco every day. Oh, I see what's going on. All right. I don't think I need all of that. All right, let's not drop this one on the floor on a pack of batteries again. When the camera went out last night, that's what y'all missed. Was me dropping the eyeball on the floor onto a pack of batteries. How fun is that? All toxic. I'm trying to be an environmentalist over here and I'm doing things like that. What the heck? Bam, and there it goes. All brought down. Let's clean this loop up. Get this real nice and clean here. Make sure that the corners are all married together nicely, all connected. Make sure it's not getting crooked in any which way. That's what I was doing last night, is I was trying to straighten it like that. And I forced it a little bit too much while it wasn't molten still. That was my bad. I was fumbling around with the camera worrying about if we were going to be able to bring it back up live. So by fumbling around and stuff, I kind of messed up my my concentration. But it's okay. Still came out. Still happy with it. I get to keep it now. Okay, I think that's done. Might heat up just these edges here real quick and give it one last pull upward. Okay, that looks better. That is beautiful, guys. Look at that. That one came out looking real. That's a real eyeball right there, guys. I don't know if I can do better except try again and try again. I'm going to drop this one in the kiln now. Get that punchy mark all cleaned up here. Hopefully it didn't make that white look weird. See a little discoloration on where that punchy mark was on the white. I don't know if I pulled off some of the white when I pulled off that punchy or what. Looks a little thinner. I'll try to make sure to keep it all on the clear next time. Alright, I'll bring it all back to temperature. Get it all nice and hot again. Alright, there you go, guys. The glowing eye. That's cool. The eye of fire. And then the way it just like goes away, that's cool. Alright, I'm going to drop it in the kiln, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I appreciate it. That was a really cool demo tutorial. Oh, that kiln is hot. That means it's ready. Alright, thank you for watching. You guys have a beautiful day. I'm going to let you guys go because I got a lot to do today. We'll see you guys soon, and hopefully Monday we'll do Music Mondays once again. 7 stacks, I appreciate it. Also, oh, before we go, oh yeah, you weren't one of the winners, so As a kid, I used to love going to the state fair to watch a glassblower work. See, and I never caught that. I never saw glassblowers blowing glass. Like I don't, or at least I don't remember. When I went to Disneyland, I remember them doing the whole stitch technique where they get the glass and they would just pull it, making baby tiny loops onto itself and creating these like castles and boats and ships and all these cool things. Yeah, that stuff is pretty amazing. I've done a little bit of that sort of work, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna flip you guys up to the kiln real quick, or actually no, I'm just gonna let you guys go. There's no reason to keep you here. I was just gonna wait for the kiln to get up to temperature, but I'm done for the day. I was just gonna do a quick dib a dab and get my day started. You guys have a beautiful day. Love and blessings. I'll see you guys later. I blow glass all the time, so it's probably a daily thing from here on out. So thanks for tuning in. Always be playing with new glass and trying new techniques. Wait, before we go, let's check this out. This was the first one, right? Where we added a tiny bit of purple to it. Then we did one where we did nothing to it. And then we did one where we added blue. Oops, sorry. Not even showing you. Look at that. So we did purple to it, then nothing to it, and then blue to it. And then this last one we added beautiful. That one looks great on its own. That one with the purple looks great as well. But this one, it looks like it's a very short cap because there's a lot of blue in there that's just not showing. But yeah, those are the ones we just made today. And oh yeah, and this was that purple one we made last night. We got to drop this one into the jar to bring that back to a total of 45 in the can, in the soup can. And 4 more of the 2 color mushrooms right there that we'll add to the whole supply. That's basically. Well, let's put those over here as the giveaways, and then that'll be something else if people want to choose from there. Thanks for watching. I'm letting you guys go. Have a beautiful day. We're out.